I only have one question for this video. Is it really worth it to buy an external lens and maybe a set of filters for your smartphone? Well, we're gonna answer that later. But what if I tell you that these photos were taken using the iPhone 16 Pro Max? Would you believe it? These are macro shots, by the way. Anyway, in this video, I'll share with you my thoughts about the Sandmarc 100mm macro lens and a set of their hybrid ND/PL filters for that cinematic look. What are their pros and cons? And again, if they are really worth your time and money. With that said, let's get into it. As always, honest disclaimer, this video is not paid, but Sandmarc did provide us some review samples for me to share with you my experience and thoughts. Also, shout out to Beyond the Box Philippines for my iPhone 16 Pro Max, which has been my daily driver for a few months now. I'll put some links below if you're interested. So we have a bunch of items here from Sandmarc: the Pro leather case with a built-in lens and filter mount, the 100mm macro lens, a set of hybrid ND/PL filters, and an adapter for direct mounting on the case. Let's unbox this first before we discuss exactly what their purpose is and their pros and cons. The Pro leather case is available in different colors, but what I have here is the tan variant. This is made out of full grain leather with the patented aluminum mount for lenses and filters. It's also compatible with MagSafe, features a soft microfiber inner lining with metal buttons all around, and overall, it looks well made and feels really nice in the hand. It only weighs roughly around 47.4 grams. Next, we have a set of hybrid ND/PL filters. We have ND16, ND32, and ND64. Substantial enough for most shooting scenarios. Inside the box, we have a clip mount for maximum compatibility. This means you can still use the filters without any case or with any other third-party cases. Next, we have a nice carrying pouch here with individual pockets for the filters. The quality of the filters feels fairly decent, relatively thin, and rotates quite smoothly. Again, you have two methods of mounting it on a phone. The first one is using the clip mount, which to be honest is easier and faster, and it actually covers the entire camera bump. The second one is using this adapter, which allows you to mount the filters directly on the case. By the way, the case has two threaded mounting points, one for the main camera and one for the telephoto camera. Next, we have the 100mm macro lens, which is what I am particularly interested about. Inside the box, we have a well-made carrying pouch, and inside it we have the lens itself protected by yet another fabric pouch. And we even have a small carabiner right here. Like with the filters, we also have a clip-on mount here, again for the same purpose. And of course, the quite massive and heavy 100mm macro lens. It has a lens cover on both sides, and with the massive glass element, it could be a good sign that we might get some pretty decent image quality or at least won't degrade what the main camera has to offer. Now, this 100mm macro lens is best used either on the main camera or on the telephoto camera, and this leads us to the pros and cons starting with this macro lens. By the way, you might be wondering why I got interested in this. I'm actually a macro photography enthusiast, well, at least in the past, way before I even got into YouTube, and I'm extremely fascinated about how things look from a macro perspective, so yeah. Now, one of the dead giveaways of an image taken using the native macro mode on the iPhone 16 Pro Max is the lack of background separation or bokeh, since it's essentially using the ultra-wide angle camera. When macro mode is enabled, even though you set it to 1x using the main camera, when you get close enough to a subject, it will automatically switch to the ultra-wide angle camera, allowing you to capture super close details at the expense of distortion and lack of background separation, because it's just physically impossible to have a shallow depth of field using the ultra-wide angle camera without introducing any artificial processing. So that's one of the main advantages of using a dedicated or external macro lens like this. You get to have a very shallow depth of field, resulting in more professional looking images. Not to mention, with a longer 100mm focal length, you also have a longer focusing distance of around 53mm, so you don't have to put your phone real close to your subject, especially for moving objects like insects or what have you. As you can tell, the image quality is at least preserved without noticeable degradation compared to cheaper macro lenses out in the market with smaller glass elements. With this, you can achieve up to 12 times magnification. In my honest opinion, this is best used with the 48MP main camera to get the absolute best image quality. However, if necessary, you can also mount it on the 12MP telephoto camera and get an even magnified result. You can use this both for photos and videos, and as you can tell, the images are substantially better compared to using only the native macro mode, which again uses the ultra-wide angle camera. The shallow depth of field alone is a good reason for me to use this every single time that I want to capture serious mobile macro photography. Now, that's good and all, but what about the cons? Well, for starters, it's an additional cost, and it's definitely not cheap for around $150, and if you want to use it with their case, add another $60 to that. So if you're going to get this, you should be pretty serious about doing mobile macro photography. Second is, of course, the setup process and the additional weight. It's undoubtedly slower than just opening your camera up and taking macro shots using the native ultra-wide angle camera. But again, the image quality is night and day, like there's no comparison at all. Third is that you need a third-party app if you want to use the telephoto camera, and you also cannot switch to normal camera mode while the macro lens is attached for obvious reasons. Other than that, again, if you're serious about mobile macro photography, perhaps you're a hobbyist like me and budget is not an issue, well, it is for me. But yeah, by all means, go get it. Now, moving on, let's talk about the pros and cons of the hybrid ND/PL filters. And the reason why I got interested in this is that as a filmmaker or at least a content creator, I always try to follow certain rules, and one of those is the 180-degree shutter rule for that natural motion blur or cinematic look. Basically, your shutter speed should be double your frame rate. So if my frame rate is set to 30 FPS, my shutter speed should be 1/60. And to achieve that in certain situations, we might need an ND filter to control the light and maintain that 180-degree shutter rule. I hope I made sense. In this example, I'm outdoors on a bright sunny day. My frame rate is set to 30 and the shutter speed is set to 1/60 with the lowest ISO possible, which is 100. And as you can tell, it's super blown out and I cannot do anything about it other than using an ND filter. So this with the ND16, which reduces light by 4 stops, and as you can see, is good enough. And with ND32, which reduces light by 5 stops, notice that the clouds are kinda visible now. And lastly, with an ND64, which reduces light by 6 stops. With this, you can get a little bit of control over how you set your exposure properly. And since this is a hybrid ND and polarizer filter, you can also rotate the filter and reduce reflections, improve colors, and increase contrast. And this works depending on the angle. So the advantage of using these hybrid ND/PL filters is that you can control your exposure, reduce reflections, and improve image quality in terms of color and contrast. The cons are basically the same with the macro lens. It's also quite expensive at around $130, requires an extra setup process, and won't allow you to switch to normal mode instantly. Overall, to conclude, personally, the 100mm macro lens gives the most value to me as a macro photography enthusiast. I don't have to bring my main camera and macro lens and just enjoy using my smartphone. The image quality is good enough for casual photos with an impressive shallow depth of field that's impossible to achieve using the native ultra-wide angle camera. The hybrid ND/PL filters are also quite useful if you're serious about mobile filmmaking and if you want to follow the rules by the book. Ultimately, and to answer my question earlier, these are worth it for the right people. And there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Huge thanks to Sandmarc for letting me experience their product and also to Beyond the Box for the sweet deal for the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I'll put some links below if you're interested. I hope this video piqued your interest in macro photography as it definitely brought back mine. It's a very fun and fulfilling photography genre to explore. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you appreciate this video, and see you next time. Have a great day, guys. You're awesome.